Patagonia, Argentina has the reputation of being cold, isolated, and windy.
The scenery is hard, the climate is hard, everything is...
But it's also colorful, intriguing, a desert, and full of surprises, like desert penguins.
Funding for The Desert Speaks was provided by Desert Program Partners, representing concerned viewers making a financial commitment to the education about and preservation of deserts, and by the Stonewall Foundation.
For most of my adult life, I've wanted to visit Argentina's vast, windswept desert. It's called the Patagonia. For better or worse, all international carriers arriving in Argentina first have to land in the capital city of Buenos Aires. So I'll have to spend a couple days in the big city before I head down the coast in search of something in Patagonia I've always wanted to see: the desert penguin. When Europeans settled in the Western Hemisphere, they tended to choose places to live similar to the climates where they came from in Europe, with plenty of grass, trees, and mild climates. Buenos Aires fit the bill perfectly for them. To the south was a whole different place with a difficult, windy, cold climate, and until late, the Europeans stayed away in droves.
Soy mezcla de dictadura con un poco de democracia. Pancracia siempre dice, ¿estás loco, payaso?
Nearly a third of the people in Argentina live in Buenos Aires. It's a very big city, and the rest of the country is very, very different. Much of it is empty, including the Patagonia. The hardcore, windy Patagonian desert begins 800 miles or so south of Buenos Aires. In such a vast landscape, it's best to have local people who know their way around. Helping me keep from getting lost in the seemingly unending landscape are María José Figuerero, a down-to-earth, sophisticated social scientist from Buenos Aires, and Harry Nauta, a native son of the Patagonia. Do you think there are noticeable differences between Patagonians and Porteños, people from Buenos Aires?
Yeah, it's
What
a world apart.
How are they different?
In Patagonia, we're very few people, yes? And most of the people that live in Patagonia are down on the coast side. So the thing is that anything that happens on the road, anybody that comes will stop and try and give a hand. We have to look after each other. We're very few here. That's one of the biggest differences. And the other thing is that Patagonians are usually rugged people. They're accustomed to this hard climate, and the scenery is hard, the climate is hard, everything is kind of difficult. But I mean, we're accustomed to that, and we love it. I wouldn't change Patagonia for any other place in the world.
So we're going to head north up to Bahía Bustamante, which is right here on the coast for our first contact with the Patagonian coastline. And well, maybe we'll see some guanacos maybe, and maybe even a petrified forest.
Petrified forest in Patagonia?
In Patagonia,
Oh, okay,
I can
good.
assure you. It's not all coastal resources.
Will we see penguins there?
We'll see lots of penguins.
You guarantee me?
I can guarantee you
can't
lots
wait.
of penguins. There's some guanacos over there.
God, there's
Okay.
a bunch of them. Oh no, not just one. I had no idea. Boy, they look like a small horse.
Over 100 kilos. And the ones down south in Tierra del Fuego weigh up to 120 or a bit more.
One looks bigger and is running after the others. Is that?
That would be the alpha male, otherwise called in Spanish the macho relincho, because he's the one who's on the lookout for the rest of the family group. You have family groups, and the other group that you have are the groups of juveniles that haven't made it yet and don't have their own harem. And so they run around in groups, like groups of young men. They're very, very graceful.
You look at the same ones that I am that are moving off to the left.
They're very coordinated, and they run uphill very effortlessly.
So they're really camels, aren't they? Just.
Well, yeah, South American camels, though.
Boy, they can move fast.
Yeah, they're very swift, but they're also very curious. See, they will stop and look back.
Yeah, they want to know who's watching.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's worth its weight in gold, huh? Guanacos. Finally, after all these years.
Finally.
Great.
Okay.
So what's that lighthouse about?
That's an old lighthouse. It was built in the 1920s, but didn't last long because the lights from this lighthouse got confused with the lights from the oil rigs, so they had to shut it down. The rocky shore here is very dangerous.
Oh, this has to be one of those famous Argentine shrines, huh?
Definitely. It's about the Gauchito Gil, a popular saint.
So his color was red, huh?
Yeah. Some say the color is red to represent his blood, and others say it's red to represent his political leanings.
Oh, it is windy here. Look at this.
The Gauchito Gil. This is a popular saint from the north part of the country, from Argentina.
Gauchito, little gaucho?
Yeah, the little Gaucho Gil.
Gil.
He was a kind of Robin Hood-like figure who got mistaken and was killed by the opposing factor to the Red Party.
Huh. And now who brings this stuff here?
Well, he's a popular saint, so local devotees will suddenly set up a shrine, and his emblem are these red flags. He was executed by his throat being cut. So while he was dying, he said, well, if you make sure that my soul gets to heaven, I'll be able to cure your son. So the guy who killed him went back to his family, found his son dead, remembered the warning, came back, gave him a decent burial, and went back and found his son cured. And so ever since then, he's been attributed with miraculous curations, and people have either thanked him for a new car, a good marriage.
All sorts of stuff. I mean, whatever it is, he can help you, huh?
And you'll find these roadside shrines all up and down Argentina now.
I can't even read. Oh, gracias, Gauchito. It's gonna say Gauchito Gil.
Yeah. Por favores recibidos, for the favors granted.
Huh?
Here's a representation of Gauchito Gil.
Well, that's what he looked like.
And it spread very dramatically in the last 5 years for whatever reason. Before it was restricted to the area where this gaucho, this popular saint, was from.
So here we are, 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And he's got a popular figure here. All right, on to Bahia Bustamante. Bahia de Bustamante?
No, Bahia Bustamante.
Bahia Bustamante, okay.
A famous explorer of the 18th century. I mean, all the place names here have such amazing stories behind them. They always commemorate some adventurer, some explorer who probably sacrificed quite a bit to add to our knowledge of Patagonia.
Every nation in Latin America has a place called Santa Cruz, the Holy Cross. In Argentina, Santa Cruz, the province we are driving in, is the driest and windiest. It wasn't always that way. Just across the state line in Chubut Province lie giant trees that fell over more than 60 million years ago. Some businessmen there want to see them protected.
Is this on private property?
Yes, this is private property, yes.
Here, is it legal to collect it, or is it a national resource?
No, it's a national resource.
Oh, this could be like so many deserts in the United States, in Nevada, or in even Texas. It just has a similar feel to it. Well, let's not go on. I think we should stop here. So somebody was working on your place and found
Yes.
found this? Wow,
Yes.
what a find. So that's the pyramid you told me about. That's the marker for where the petrified wood is.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's everywhere.
Everywhere where you step, you can
I
find
don't-
small pieces.
And right next to the cactus.
Yeah.
Hey, well, no, we're in desert. That's great cactus. This is a whole trunk. So what kind of tree was this?
These trees were from the families of the Laurelaceas. They are straight trees, like the sequoias, but in a small scale. No?
So how tall do you think this they got?
Maybe
this
20, 30 meters.
60, 70 feet. That's good.
They are from the tropical.
Oh, they're a tropical tree?
Yeah.
And how old are these estimated to be?
These are 60 million years ago. Yeah. When the Andes just came
Begin
up,
to
yes,
rise.
and America and Africa, they separated.
Most of the petrified forests are found in central to southern Patagonia. They can be near the coast, just like over here, but they're also found near the mountains, near the Andes. Not all of them have been identified. They keep on coming up, and more are being discovered. They're different ages. Some have been named provincial reserves, and some are protected in private land, just like the ones that we are surrounded by over here.
Look out for the lizard.
Lizard.
They're known to kill.
Yeah.
What is a different color?
It's totally different, the color. Oh, different minerals. And the sound is very...
Oh, if we could do that together, we could be an indigenous Patagonian band, the Petrified Patagonians.
rolling, petrified stone.
Rock and roll. You know, petrified wood is not just for looking, it's for listening. It's good work. It's uncanny, the similarity to the petrified forest in the United States, these clay hills. They set up the perfect conditions for petrified wood. And over the millennia, the cells of the wood are replaced with small, tiny dissolved particles of the minerals around, and ultimately you get a petrified tree, a petrified log. And it's preserved in its shape and with different colors. I think I'm actually in northern Arizona here, but wait, there's guanacos over there, so I must be in Argentina. That's where the guanacos are.
In the space of a few miles, we go from fossilized trees to fossilized marine life.
It looks as though somebody had a gigantic clam bake here maybe 1 million years ago.
Maybe many more millions, but here we have a big bank of oysters.
All fossilized.
All fossilized in a silty layer. So they've captured, they were quickly buried. So it's not only the oysters, but all the other species that accompanied the community here. And they were later covered by the other sediments that make up the cliffs that surround this beach. So these have been eroded out. And they're millions of years old, and they're accompanied by corals, by sand dollars, by snails, sea snails.
Amazing. You know, one of these could have made a meal. That's as big as an abalone.
Well, we could have had a real feast with one of these.
Yeah, we're just a few million years too late. But they are, I mean, they look as if they're just alive, but
Yeah.
they're rock, they're solid rock.
And in this case, you can even see that the surface with the mother of pearl has been preserved, and even the imprint where the mussel actually attached itself to the shell.
But that's rock, that's not shells. Looking at them, you can't tell whether they're actual creatures that died a couple of weeks ago or they're fossils. You have to actually touch them to tell the difference.
Oh, the only thing is that there are no counterparts now, no oysters now, just mussels. So we're going to miss out on that feast.
I was looking forward to that. Off into the wind.
Yeah.
It's not fossils, land or marine, that put Bustamante Bay on the map. It's a living plant from the sea.
This is a Gracilaria seaweed, no?
It's a seaweed.
Yeah. This is the reason why Bustamante was created,
To collect seaweed?
to collect seaweeds, yes. In the 50s, my grandfather came and he found these seaweeds. From these seaweeds, we extract agar-agar. It's a vegetable jelly that is used for, well, dairy products, no? And ham.
You put it in food?
In food, yeah.
And you've got tons of it here then.
Yes, we've got near 1,000 dry tons a year.
Out of this stuff from the ocean comes that gel type stuff that's used for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. In this, here inside, you have 10% of agar-agar.
That works out to a lot of gel.
Yeah.
And what's this pile over here? Because it's a different color.
This is kelp. It's called macrocitis.
It's a real kelp.
Yeah, it grows in forest. It reaches up to 30 meters deep, it goes. And with these small bubbles, they flotate.
So they float up
Yes.
on the surface. Yeah, that's what you see near the surface, where the sea otters live.
In Argentina, we use it for cosmetology products and also for the animals.
For livestock. Livestock feed, they eat kelp?
Yeah. We only cut the last 3 feet that you find near the surface. So the kelp, it has sunlight to grow again.
I suppose it helps when you're drying the kelp and the seaweed to have your factory here in Patagonia.
Yes, this is a natural dryer, no? The rain stops in Los Andes, it rains in Chile, and then the west wind, it comes totally dry, no?
And
so
it's always windy, right?
It's windy and it's hot.
Eons before humans were using kelp in beauty products, some shorebirds found the kelp beds to be a most useful resource. And numerous other marine creatures found the rich, sheltered environment of the bay a perfect place to call home.
Here we have the angry terns screaming us because we're near their eggs, the kelp gulls, right
Okay,
here.
well, they're all over here. No wonder they're mad.
Then we have the dolphin gulls waiting to eat them all up.
Oh, I see. They're just waiting for the parents to go away. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, and these have to be cormorants over here. What a nest.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have the imperial cormorants.
Imperial?
Yeah. They have all white throats and a black back.
Now, they seem to tolerate our presence pretty well. Well, those sea lions are enormous.
There seem to be females there. See, they don't have a ruff and they're kind of
they don't
small.
have that, almost like a mane like a
mane.
lion.
Right, yeah. But in Spanish they call them lobos,
lobos
sea wolves. These and other species of sea lions were intensely hunted by sealers all the 19th century, well into the 20th.
How are the sea lion populations doing now?
It's growing a slow percentage, but it's growing each year. Here we have 20% of the population of the whole Gulf.
So there are not very many of them.
Here we have 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
And I suspect that each one of them eats quite a bit. That's my, those things are just enormous.
They eat a lot of, salmon and octopus. And here there is a lot of octopus because there is a lot of rocks.
So where you have rocks, you tend to have more marine life, right?
Yeah, and if you have islands, because you don't have predators, you have
Places to hide.
places to hide, yeah.
The sea lions like the rocky habitat, but I'm on the lookout for Magellanic penguins. When they're on land, they prefer sandy beaches on islands in the bay. Where were you born, Matías?
I was born in Buenos Aires,
And it's how far from here to Buenos Aires?
1,700 kilometers.
That's a long way. So that's about 1,100 miles. That's a long
yes,
way.
Yeah.
That's good. And it's about as different as any two places in the whole globe could be, wouldn't you say?
This is much better.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So the Zodiac is ideal for going to little islands and places that are hard to get to, right?
And it's very safe. No, it's So you want to stop here in this first island?
Yeah, I think the closest we can get to the penguins is the first place to go. That's, you know, for us, penguins are an astonishing bird.
Okay.
We don't get them in North America.
No. In the northern hemisphere, they don't exist.
Up on the beach, there's gobs. And it looks like a reception committee. They spend most of their life in the water.
Yes. They are water animals. They only come out from the water to breed and to change the feathers once a year.
When they molt, then,
Yeah.
Well, here's some more over there. Boy, they're good divers. How deep can they dive?
They can dive like 100 meters.
Oh my goodness, is that right?
They only dive 4 minutes, more or less. And they reach a speed of 20 kilometers in a very short period.
Underwater.
Underwater, yes.
They got to make up for that burst of energy by getting a lot of fish.
Yeah.
It's worth it, though. Well, look at them there. Oh, wow.
These are Magellanic penguins. They choose these islands to breed because they don't have predators like foxes or the armadillos, that they eat the eggs. So here what they have is the principal predator is the skua, like a brown gull, and that's the principal predator. They come here every year and they come to the same island. They have like a GPS in the head. It's incredible.
How many penguins are there in the area of Bahia de Bustamante?
In Bustamante area, there are near 100,000.
100,000? Now, how old are these birds here?
They are like 4 years because
So they're
they
adults,
have pigeons. Yes, they are adults. Yeah.
Now, where is this guy going? He's walking up the...
They're going to the nest. Yeah.
Oh, they have nests. So they're nesting here now.
They're nesting down the bushes.
I see.
You can see there.
Okay, so very slowly they're heading up.
The male or the female stays always in the nest. And the other one will be looking for the food. They come every year to the same island and to the same nest.
How far north will they go?
Well, they go up to the south of Brazil coast.
So that's 2,000 kilometers away?
Yes, yes.
And then they come back to the same nest?
3,000 kilometers, yeah.
Gee whiz. I have to look twice to see, yes, this is desert, and these are penguins. So this is penguins in the desert. People come from all over to Patagonia just to see these penguins?
No, definitely. I think it's one of the main attractions, and at least it's one of the focal points and excuses for people to visit the part of Patagonia that is less well known, which is the arid coast.
Well,
Otherwise, people mostly make for the meccas, which are the mountains and the glaciers.
It is a So they can escape pretty quickly if they need to.
Well, at least from us. Hard to get away from the killer whale, though. Because you can find the nests up to 1 kilometer inland.
They walk a kilometer inland?
It's amazing. I mean, they go uphill, downhill, through valleys, gullies, all the way to their nests. And the male is very slightly larger than the female.
That's pretty subtle, though.
It's extremely subtle. So you have to kind of study them and realize that one is a bit thicker and stouter. But you need a more practiced eye to do that. But basically, both sexes are the same. It's mostly between the juveniles and the adults that the distinction is greater.
The penguins along the coast of Patagonia are just one of the wonders of this windswept land. Since the arrival of Europeans more than 400 years ago, most people came to the coast of Patagonia to explore or for economic reasons. In the last few decades, the word's gotten out that in spite of the incessant wind, the cold, and the aridity, The diversity of natural history along this Patagonian coast rivals many wonders of the world. I feel like I'm in Mordor in Lord of the Rings.
Patagonia, Argentina is just about as inhospitable as deserts come. It's cold, sometimes bitterly, always windy, and especially empty.
The Indians that inhabited southern Patagonia were
But
collectively...
people have called Patagonia home for over 10,000 years, and they still do. Next time on The Desert Speaks.
So the water here is 5 meters deep.
It goes up to 200 miles.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it is shallow. And is the water very cold here or is it warm?
In summer season, it goes up to 18, 19 degrees.
Well, that's not very warm. That's 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not very warm.
Well, it's not so cold.
Well, it depends on your viewpoint.
Funding for The Desert Speaks was provided by Desert Program Partners, representing concerned viewers making a financial commitment to the education about and preservation of deserts, and by the Stonewall Foundation,